So the semi-finals of the shortened Singapore Sevens have been confirmed. On one side of the draw, it will be Spain versus Kenya, and on the other, it is Fiji versus Argentina. Now, 3 of those 4 sides are in the top 3, the other being Kenya, who no matter how they finish in this match, will still be in the relegation zone, with the potential of being kicked off the 7 circuit. But one of these 2 sides playing in this match, that being Argentina, they have secured the title. They have got enough points by making it through to the semis, but that second place still well and truly up for grabs, which is why Fiji will come into this game with a little bit of extra motivation as well as some great form from their first 2 games. But in this preview, we'll be looking through at the key players, the previous fixtures, and then also a prediction at the end who I think will win this game. But jumping straight into it, Fiji, they were a part of Group D alongside New Zealand and the USA. Because we're in a shortened format, does mean that you only get 2 group stage matches, and Fiji were able to make an impact in both of them. 38 points to 0 over the USA. Now, I thought that the US may have had a little bit of an advantage just because they had already played a game up against New Zealand. Yes, they got beaten as well, but thought that might have helped. It didn't. 38-0, and then the next game, New Zealand, they had played a game. Fiji had played one too, but the game up against each other was not even close. 36 points to 5. The Fijians able to win that one. They dominated the Kiwis from pretty much start till finish, and just from those first 2 games, looking extremely strong for the semi-final fixture for the Argentines. They did not start the way that they would have liked. In fact, they lost a 16-match winning streak in the opening contest up against South Africa, losing it 26 points to 24. Their next game was up against Great Britain. They won it 19 points to 12. Now, there was a little bit of confusion involving Pool A, as Argentina and Great Britain had both lost one game. Both had 4 points, and Great Britain had the better points differential, but it is actually the head-to-head result that does allow a side to advance, which does mean because they're on the same points differential aside, they look at that result, and Argentina were the victors there. So they find themselves up against the Fijians in the semi-final. Looking through at the key players for these 2 sides, starting off with the Fijians. Speaking of the players who were able to get themselves tries in the last fixture, it was Sevu Mothunothangi, Josefa Talatholo, Georgie Nasova. He managed to score 2. So it's an interesting dynamic, because we get to see Nasova versus Marcos Maneta. Combined, those 2 men have around 45 tries from the 2025 circuit. So if either of them get the ball, we're probably going to see another one added to those tallies. And then also Felipe Satoranga and Rato Vakadrano, the last man who did score the try for the Argentines. They had 3 tries up against Great Britain, 1 by Marcos Maneta, 1 by Joaquin Palandini, and Matthias Azunsuk was also able to get himself the try. Now, of those 3 tries, Argentina converted 2. Of Fiji's 6 tries that they scored, they only converted 3. Now, with a 50% accuracy going into a semi-final, that's a little bit of a concern. And the reason I say that is because these 2 sides could be split by a very thin margin, and the difference maker could be those conversions. So Palandini for the Argentines, the pressure will be on him. Saturanga, pressure on him later on in the game. They did actually have Sanila taking the kicks early for Fiji, but depending on the starting lineup will depend on who's out there to be able to take those kicks. So with that information being said, with Argentina sitting 1 win from 2, with the Fijians sitting undefeated with a total of 74 points from their 2 games, it seems like there should be an easy answer for who's going to win this match. But the problem is, when these 2 sides play off, it is never simple, and it's never easy to predict, and I honestly have no idea who is going to win this match. I do think that Fiji coming into this contest are looking a lot more solid, but that could also be because they haven't been tested. Whereas this Argentine side, they had an absolute enthralling contest with the South Africans. It tested them physically, it tested them mentally, and they may be stronger for it. But I'm going to say Fiji. I've gotten a lot of semi-final predictions wrong in the past. We'll get a lot more wrong in the future too. But I'm going to say Fiji win this contest. I'm actually going to say it will be the exact same scoreline as we saw in Argentina's last match of their pool stage. 19 points to 12 in favour of Fiji. Honestly, one of these two sides could win this game by a substantial margin, but I hope it's close. That one is almost as, if not more, unpredictable. Either Kenya will come out firing like they did, or Spain will continue their winning ways, book themselves through to a final, and perhaps that would be a fitting way to close out the competition. The Spanish, because of what they've been able to do this year, it would be fantastic to see them through to the final. Kenya, though, this could be their last opportunity for quite some time. So, honestly, I want both of those sides to win, but of course, that's not how semi-finals work, but we will be doing both of them on the channel, ladies and gents. It is kicking off at 6:56 p.m. New Zealand time on Sunday night, but do, of course, let me know who you think will win this game. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.